The Mind the Paint Girl by Tracy. Chapter 1. A May morning. The music of the band came nearer. The Coldstreams were marching from Chelsea to relieve the Grenadiers. Strollers in the park, loungers in Pall Mall and St James's Street seemed to quicken visibly under the lilt and rhythm of the lively air. A crowd, mostly drawn from the provinces and overseas, had gathered already on the pavement, either beneath the wall of Marlborough House or on the south of Palace Square, and even the case-hardened cockneys who happened to be passing hurried to watch the daily pageant of guard mounting. The oncoming band acted on them as a magnet acts on steel filings. As it approached, each human atom became active. Two men, neither of whom had seen the other, turned out of Pall Mall about the same moment, but on opposite sides of Marlborough Gate. The elder of the pair, unmistakably the type of retired soldier, which ranges from colonel to field marshal, had just quitted a club in St James's Street. If hair and moustache were white, his figure was trim and erect, and at the martial strains of the band his shoulders unconsciously squared themselves, and his face lost an expression of settled melancholy, singularly out of keeping with spruce attire and military bearing. The younger man, tall and strongly built, was a captain in a line battalion, but walked with the air and swing of a cavalryman. He came from Pall Mall, and a casual glance at the sentry in front of Marlborough House in order to learn, from the colour of the cockade and the arrangement of buttons on the scarlet tunic, what regiment had been on duty during the previous 24 hours. What regiment had been on duty during the previous 24 hours cost him an opportunity of recognising an old friend. London gives or withholds such haphazard encounters with callous indifference. In ordinary conditions, these two might not have met a second time within the year, but now the band, with blood-stirring clash of brass and cymbals, had wheeled out of the park into the wall-pent road, and alert policemen were shepherding the onlookers into compact masses. Again the band wheeled. Some staccato orders made themselves heard above the din of drums and instruments. The old guard's rifles clattered to the present. The new guard became two solid lines of black and red, faced to the left, and moved in toward the square. Then the crowd broke, eager to gain a few yards closer view of the spectacle, and this reshuffling of its units brought the two army men side by side. "Hello, Nico!" "Hello, Colonel!" Their hands met with a ready clasp of friendship. "My wife tells me you are in town. She saw you last night in the stalls at the Pandora, so we were expecting you to call," said the veteran. "Yes, of course. This afternoon, without fail," said Nico Jays. Nico to his intimates, but Captain Nicholas Jays of the North Devons to the wider world. "The CO gave me 10 days district leave, and I reached town from the Curragh yesterday, just in time to dress and eat before going to the theatre." Colonel the Honourable Arthur Stidolph, for all that he was a society man to the tips of his well-manicured fingers, had an incurable trick of allowing his face to betray his thoughts. A slight frown of bewilderment now checked. "10 days in May!" he exclaimed. "I had a notion you were keen on soldiering, Nick."